Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing great. It's it is. I have to think. I get my days and my hours mixed up. Tuesday evening, and tomorrow's the 1st of October, and the September was a crazy, crazy, crazy month. I thought, energetic wise, and so I think October is going to be pretty crazy too, a little bit. So we just have to ride it best we can. But I wanted to share, I was on Instagram and I was on a live with a man called, his name is Manny. Cannot pronounce his whole name, but he does a lot of, he knows a lot about the energies and the dynamics with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And what is interesting is that in the beginning of his live, he was talking about how the comments he gets and how the divine feminine tend to, some of them, not all, some of them get angry with the divine masculine. And, we're all growing at different rates. For us, with doing the inner work, I think it probably comes easier. And I really, was listening to him, and I made a comment that I really feel for the divine masculine because, even way back in time, men are supposed to be the strong ones. They don't express their feelings or not allowed to. And you very rarely see them cry. At least I haven't experienced growing up. I think I probably saw my dad cry twice. When his mother died, he just went down the basement and cried. That was my grandmother when I was like 5, when she died. And it was upsetting and tragic, and of course it always is. I was very close to my grandmother, and she taught me a lot about the paranormal world, even at the age of 5. I remember a lot of great things she told me, and I have had contact with her, and do occasionally. She died very young. And then when my brothers were killed, I saw him cry then. And one of my brothers, he tried to pull out a casket. So that was pretty dramatic. But, I think for us divine feminines, I think we need to have a little compassion. It's, especially the way men have been conditioned to not deal. Or either, I think some do deal with what's going on in them internally, but I think it's a little bit harder because they're, have always been expected to, be strong, don't, hold things together. And, it isn't easy for them to do inner work. Sometimes I think it's a little harder. Where us, women, we get into, we can get into our feeling mode a little easier. We get a little more emotional. I don't know if it's our hormones or what, but I know I've been on this path a long time. And, and it isn't easy to delve into your, all your, whatever triggers you, or your fears, or your anger, your childhood issues, or any, I've had sexual issues come up, and, you have to work through those, or at least you hope you work through those, because otherwise you just, you carry it, and it's not good for your physical body to hold those emotions and those traumas in. But it was interesting that on this live, that a few of them were making comments about, the divine masculines, and not so nice comments. And I think we have to have a little compassion and realize that we, number one, are all moving at different rates, speed, so to speak. And it's not easy for everyone. And especially if you are on this journey, as far as trying to work through your issues so you don't repeat, and so you can become whole within yourself. And for the divine feminines, it's important that we do, because in doing so, we help others, and we help the, just the energetics of it helps the divine masculines. And to have some compassion for where people are at. And I had made a comment and I said, I really feel for the divine masculines because, they, as far as what I have witnessed in growing up, that you don't, to even show emotion, for a man, or to get into those places of feeling, or to cry, just wasn't really a thing. And, you didn't see it very often. And maybe it's done in private. But just to have, I give them a lot of credit, and a shout out to them for any of them that are the ones that are doing the work. And, just like I said, we all are at a different spot at different times in our lives where, you just get sick of carrying those emotions and things around with you. And it does disrupt relationships, and if you don't let them go. So he was funny because he sent me, a heart at my comment, because I think that, women do progress sometimes faster than men when it comes to spiritual growth. And sometimes we forget, and we end up, expecting, the divine masculine to be further along, or at least be along, the same growth period as we are, and it's not always the case. So I think just to bring the divine love into the world is really, really important, because that's what's going to change the world. Because the only thing that is real is love. And it's going to help the planet, and it's going to change the way everything has been run. And it's, very important to embody that in going forward. So I just, hats off to the divine masculines. I know I talk a lot about divine feminine, but I really, really have compassion and love for the divine masculines that are working hard at trying to do the work. So I just wanted to share that, and just, keep doing the best you can. And because that's what's going to help you embody, that's going to help you evolve for where we're headed, if whatever you want to call it, the new earth or whatever you want to call it. But things need to change. Things can't go the way that they used to go. And I coming up into the next year, between now and the next year, I think a lot of us are going to be letting go of what is no longer needed, and going into 2026. So we can let go of a lot. It's just, it's time. It's time for things to start shifting. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. And I hope, that everybody's doing okay. And just, keep moving forward. Alrighty, thank you. Bye.